Hello, my name is Mary Kianda. Welcome to Business 216 Computer Applications for Business. This class is offered at Highline College. In this class, we will learn Introduction to Microsoft 365 and Windows Explorer. I have listed the things that we will learn in this class and percentages of each on the left side. In Windows Explorer, we will learn how to manage files and folders. In Word, we will create documents with Word. We will format and insert pictures like flyers and business letters. We'll also create Word templates and also write research papers. PowerPoint, we will create presentation with words, images, and design with movement and sound to articulate a message. Excel is 50% of this class, and the reason being Excel is most widely used in the business world, and we would love to make sure by the time you're done with this class, you're ready for the business world. We will learn how to store data, make calculations using Excel, perform data analysis, make charts, and also pivot tables. Access, we will learn how to store data in related tables, create information and reports from raw data using queries. For Outlook, we will learn how to create and send messages, and we'll also learn how to use data from Excel or Access and merge that to our emails and send messages using Outlook. I will go ahead and close this. I have my desktop open, and for this class I'll be using Windows 10 operating system. You might be having a different operating system. You may have a Windows 7 or a Windows 8, but I would like to assure you that our study in this class will not be affected by what type of operating system you're using. Now, that being said, I would like us to go straight to the basics of this class. And this here is called the taskbar. And you can see I have different icons for different programs pinned on the taskbar. I have this icon here. It's the program that I'm using to record. I have an Excel icon. I have Word icon. I have Outlook. I have different browsers here, and I also have the File Explorer here. I will show you how to pin different icons on the taskbar. And the reason why you would have the icons on the taskbar is because it gives you quick access to your most used programs without having to search them on the start menu. This is the start button, and we use this to open the start menu. And I'm opening using my mouse, left click, and I have my start menu open. And you can see on the start menu too, you can pin the different icons that you would like quick access to. This is the search field or the search bar where you type to open the programs that you would like, or for our case here, we will type here to search PowerPoint, and I will go ahead and start typing PowerPoint. I have PowerPoint here. And since we would like to learn how to pin to the taskbar, I have the dialog box open to my right, and I'll go on and left click pin to taskbar, and I have the icon now pinned to the taskbar. With the icon pinned on the taskbar, the other thing you can do is you can move it, and I'm holding my mouse down, left click, and I'm moving it. I can move it all the way right there, and I can move it back depending on where I want it to be, and I will leave it there right after Excel. I will go ahead and using my keyboard, press Escape key to go back to my desktop. And the next thing I would like to show you is to open your start menu using your keyboard. And the keyboard shortcut that I will use is the Windows key. And why we use the keyboard shortcuts, as we will use several shortcuts in this class, is because they are efficient and they save you time compared to using your mouse. So I'll go ahead and hit the Windows key, and I have my start menu once again open. And this time I would like to pin my PowerPoint icon to the start menu. So I'll go ahead and type PowerPoint on my search bar, and I have my PowerPoint up here again, and I still have my dialog box open, and I will go ahead and pin to start. So to see that I have pinned that to start, I will escape to go back to the desktop, and again hitting the Windows key to open the start menu. And you can see now we have the icon pinned to the start menu, and we also have the same icon pinned on the taskbar. So to unpin these two from here, we'll just have to make sure that my mouse is pointing to that icon that I would like to remove, and I will right click, and once I right click, I have my dialog box open, and then I will left click and pin from start. The next thing that I would like to do is to unpin PowerPoint icon from the taskbar. So same thing, I have to make sure that I have my PowerPoint selected by my mouse, and I'm pointing that using my mouse, and then right click to open the dialog box and left click and pin from taskbar. So now we have learned how to pin and how to unpin from the taskbar and from the start menu. And I'll escape to go back to my desktop. We will go on and open the File Explorer, and as I mentioned, we'll be learning and using keyboard shortcuts a lot in this class. And so the next keyboard that we learn is Windows E to open the File Explorer. Go on and hold your Windows key and press letter E to open the File Explorer. With that open, we can be able to enlarge this using our mouse. So if you hover your mouse to the edge, and you will see that double arrowed line, and you can drag that to enlarge to the size that you want, or you can drag to the edge to the size that you want. You can drag it back. The next other thing you can do, you can minimize the window using the minimize button. And what that does, it does not close your window, it just minimizes to the taskbar. And I can open that again, and I can use my maximize button to maximize my window. Go on and left click to maximize your window. On our Windows Explorer, you can see that we have two different sides, and we have a bar that separates both sides. And if you hover your mouse closely, you can see the double line, where you can hold down, left click, and drag the bar, drag it to the size that you want. And I will drag ours up to there, and then release my mouse. The left side is called the folders pane, and this is where you will see all your drives listed. And since we all have the C drive, let's go on and click to select the C drive. And before we do that, you see we also have some buttons on the left side that are arrow shaped. You can use these buttons to expand your drive. So if I select my C drive, and if I expand, on the right side, I can see everything that is included on the C drive. And then on the left side, which is the folders pane, I can see the folders that are included on my C drive. If you would like to collapse your drive, you use the downward facing arrow, and you left click to collapse that. So next thing, let's go on and insert our flash drive. If you have your USB drive, go on and insert it. If you're using a desktop computer, the USB port should be located at the front or at the back of your computer, and if you're using your laptop, it should be located at the side of your laptop. Go on and insert your USB. And with the USB inserted, it gives you a dialog box that prompts you to choose what will happen to your drive. Now with our USB inserted, we will go on and select the USB drive, left click to select it. And we also can use the arrow to expand our USB drive. You can see on my USB drive, I have one folder listed on the right side, but on the left side, I see I can expand the folder since I have the expand button. I'll go on and expand that, and I still have another folder, but since I don't have the expand button here, that means I cannot expand that since there's no other folder in there. So I will go on and select the class video notes, and on my right side you see I have the folder which is also listed on the left side, and I also have 2 files there. Now your USB might be having a different name than mine. It also might be having a different letter, and you also will be having different files and folders in your USB. On the right side, on the white area, you can use this side to create new folders. Even though we will not be doing that in this class, we'll be using the keyboard shortcuts, or we'll be using the new folder which is located in the home tab. This area up here, that is, those 4 are called the tabs, and those will be different for different windows. And this part here is called the ribbon. So when creating folders in this class, we will be using either the new folder or we'll be using the keyboard shortcuts. And the reason being, the keyboard shortcuts are quicker compared to using the mouse. Say if we were to create a folder here using a mouse, we would right click on the white area and then click on new and then click on folder. Those are 3 different steps that we have to use to create a folder. But I will escape that to get out of the dialog box. The easier way and the quicker way, we can either click new folder, and when I have highlighted the new folder, you see that there's a keyboard shortcut there, which brings us to our next keyboard shortcut. So the keyboard shortcut to create a new folder is Ctrl-Shift-N, and that is what we'll be using mostly in this class. And before you create your folder, you need to make sure that you're creating your folder in the correct location. And I see that I am in class video notes, so I will come on this side on my white area, and I will use my keyboard shortcut Ctrl-Shift-N, and I have created a new folder. Now with the new folder created, if you accidentally hit enter and you have that as a new folder, and we know it's not a smart way to name our files and our folders, no problem. What we can do, we have the new folder selected, and we can use the keyboard shortcut F2 and put that in edit mode. And once we have that in edit mode, we can start typing the name of the folder, or however you want to name the folder. And for this folder, I will type business 216 class and hit enter to name my folder. Now I have created a new folder, and I have shown you how to rename a folder. The next thing I want to show you is on the View tab. If you click on the View tab, left click, and if you click on the Preview pane, you can use the Preview pane on your right side. So I will go ahead and select one file here. On my right side, you can see the Preview pane open, and you can use the Preview pane to preview what is inside your selected file. This here is the search field, and you can use the search field to search for a folder or a file in your file explorer. We also have the column header up here. You can use this to sort through your files and your folders. And if you left click on the name, it sorts your files and your folders from A to Z or from Z to A. You can also sort using the date, the type, or the size. If you'd like to delete your folders, you can do that by selecting the folder or the file that you would like to delete. And on your keyboard, you hit the key delete. And once you do that, a dialog box opens asking you, are you sure you want to permanently delete this folder? And the reason being, this folder is inside my USB drive. So any folder you delete that is inside your USB drive, that folder is permanently deleted. But the folders that are inside other drives, if you delete them, the folders go to the recycle bin, and you can retrieve them at a later time. So I will go ahead and click yes, because I want to delete that folder. And I've shown you how you can create folders, rename folders, and delete folders too. The next thing that we'll learn is to create files in Word and Excel and save that in our folders. But before we do that, let's create the folders that we would save our files in. I have my folder here selected where I want to create those folders in, and on the white space I will create new folders, Control Shift N. I have my new folder. I will name these Word Files, enter, and I'll create another folder, Control Shift N. I'll name this Excel Files, enter. Now I would like to sort this alphabetically, and I would like Word to come at the top here, followed by Excel, and then followed by the old folder that we have here, Business 216 class. And to do that, I'll have to name Word. So I will hit F2 to rename that. And because I still want the name Word Files to be here, but I want to include a 1 so that when I sort it, Word File will come the top. So what I will do, I will hit the Home key. And what the Home key does, it takes me to the beginning of the name. And if I hit End key takes me to the end of the name. So hitting again Home key, and in Word, when you have a Word document open, when you hit the Home key, it takes you to the beginning of the line. The End key takes you to the end of the line. In Excel formula, the Home key takes you to the beginning of the formula, and the End key takes you to the end of the formula. So right there I have it at the beginning, and I will type 01, paste, enter. And I will also like to name Excel file, so I select the Excel file, F2 to rename that, and I'm hitting Home key and 02 space, enter. And as I do that, on my left side on the folders pane, you will see that that has already sorted even before I sort over here. So on my column header, I will sort that, and I will sort again so that I have Word at the top here, followed by Excel, and followed by Business 216. I will go on and click the Excel program icon on my taskbar to open the Excel file. Left click to open. And as I open that, I can see below here that I have the recent files that I opened. And if you are looking to open a recent file, you can click on the name of your file to open it. And also on the top part here, we have a blank workbook, and we also have templates, but we will not be using templates in this class. We will be creating our new workbooks. So to do that, I can click new, but the efficient way to do, since the blank workbook is selected, press escape on your keyboard, and you have your new workbook open. With our new workbook open, we have our name here, Book 1 Excel. This is not a good name, but later in this video, we will change that and name it smartly. This top part here is called the title bar. And the down part here, this is called the status bar. Up here, we have the ribbon, and the ribbon has three main components: the tabs, which are up here, the groups, these are the groups, and the command buttons, which we use to do common things in our file. For example, we can use the button here to bold our work, or this here to underline our work. You can customize your ribbon by right-clicking on this. This is called the dialog box launcher. You can right-click on that to customize your ribbon, or you can right-click anywhere in your ribbon to customize your ribbon. I will go ahead and left-click, customize the ribbon. These are the popular commands that are included in your ribbon. We have other options here that we'll look into later in this class. And this is the main tab, which is included in your ribbon up here. To add a tab in your ribbon, you can check the box here to add the tab, or you can uncheck a box here to remove a tab from your ribbon. I will go ahead and check Power Pivot and click OK. And once I do that, you can see the Power Pivot tab is added to my ribbon. This part here is called the QAT, or the Quick Access Toolbar. And once I left click on this arrow down here, Customize Quick Access Toolbar, I have options here that I can use to edit my QAT. I can either show above the ribbon, or I can click again and show below the ribbon. I can also add commands to my QAT, and if I click on any command button that I would like to add my QAT, right click, add to quick access toolbar, and there it is. I've added that to my quick access toolbar. If I would like to remove a button from the QAT, I will just right click and remove from my QAT. If you would like to hide your QAT, you can come here to the right and click on this arrow, left click, and you can see the option to hide quick access toolbar. You can click on that, left click, to hide your QAT, and you would like to show it again, click that again and left click to show your QAT. To collapse or to hide your ribbon, you can use the keyboard shortcut Control F1, that hides your ribbon. And if you want to restore your ribbon or show it again, you again have to hold down Control key and press F1 to show your ribbon. To hide your ribbon using your mouse, bring your mouse here to this arrow facing downward, and you can see my mouse there. Click on that, and you can see the options here of showing your ribbon. So if I just want to show the tabs only, I will click on that. And if I don't want to see the tabs, I just want a full screen mode, I will click on that. So if you click on the full screen mode to show your ribbon again, you will have to click at the top of the window to show the ribbon. And if you just show the tabs only, you will have to click one of the tabs to show your ribbon again. So you see here we have always show ribbon. I will go ahead and select show tabs only. And now you can see we don't see the ribbon, but we only see the tabs. So to show the ribbon again, right click on any of the tabs, right click, and now this time we will uncheck that, collapse the ribbon. You see it has a check mark, so we'll click on that. And now we can show our ribbon again, and here you see we have a check mark on always show the ribbon. Now let's go to the File tab and left click to open our Backstage View. And we can see that we have different buttons here, and we will review each of them. The new button is used to open a new file, and we'll never use this as we'll use the keyboard shortcut Control N. Open is used to open your recent files. We'll never use this too because we'll use the keyboard shortcut Control O. Info gives you information about your file. The Save option is defaulting to Save As, and this is because Excel or Word or any other Microsoft program is smart to know that we have not saved this, and it has no idea where we want to save this. But if you're just saving changes to your file, we will never use save. We will always use the keyboard shortcut Control S. The Save As option is used when you're saving a new file or when you're changing your location or the file type. We'll never use this. We'll always use our keyboard shortcut F12. The Save as Adobe PDF, we will not use this too, but I will show you later in this video how to save our file as a PDF. The Print option, we will not use this too. We will always use keyboard shortcut Control P. The Share button, you use this when you want to share your work online. Export, use this to save your open file in a different format or type. The Publish option we will use later when we learn advanced Excel on how to publish our work, for example, in the Power BI. You use the Close button to close your file, and we will not use this. We will always use the X button, which will be on our file that is open. Account gives you information about your account, and it shows you the version of the Microsoft Office that you're using. You can see the update options and what's new and about the program that is open. The options, we use this to set various defaults in our related program. I will go ahead and click cancel to close that. Before I make any changes, I will start by saving our new file. As you can see right here is book 1, but would like to save our file with a name that will reflect the information that we will include in this file. So as I told you earlier, opening the Backstage View is not really efficient. As you can see, that was 1 click, and that's a 2nd click. That's a 3rd click before I even choose the location. So I already have 3 clicks. I will escape that to get out of the Backstage View, and we will use our keyboard shortcut F12 to save our work. And as you see, that is only 1 click, and it takes us to the Save As dialog box. And now when we are here, we'll need to make sure that we have the correct location that we want to save our file. There are 3 things that you need to be sure you have them correct when you're saving your work for the first time. And in our case, we are making sure we have the correct location, which is the first thing, and we have Excel files folder. So I will go ahead and click on that folder. The next thing that I need to make sure is that I name our file to reflect the information that is in that file. And for our case, I'll name this monthly sales. The 3rd thing that you need to make sure is you have the correct extension type. Extension types are important because they help you understand what the file can and cannot do. And before we save this with this extension type, I will first click on this down arrow, and I want to show you the different kind of extensions that we have. They are listed here, and I will explain to you the most common used ones. So I start with .xlsx. Any extension with this file indicates that the file was created in Excel 2007 or later. The macro-enabled workbook, or .xlsm, it indicates that the file was created in Excel 2007 or later, and the M means that you can have macros in the file, or the file can have macros. Macros mean that there's a code written behind the scenes, and this file with macros can either be Word or Excel files. In this class, we will use the .xlsm extension. You don't have to worry about that since we will not be writing any codes. But if you ever receive a file which is macro enabled, do not enable the macros unless you trust the source. The other extension is .xls, and this is a file that was created in 2003 or earlier. And then we have Excel template. We have .xltx, which indicates that this template is a version of Excel that was created in Excel 2007 or later. And then the other type of template is .xlt, which indicates that it was created in 2003 or earlier. Another file that you might come across is .csv, and this is a data file that you can open, but it's not really an Excel file. Earlier in this video, I told you that I will show you how to save as PDF, and instead of using the Backstage View, you can use the F12 to open the Save As dialog box, and once that's open, then you can change the Save As to have your file in a PDF version. So I will go ahead and make sure I select the correct file extension type .xlsx, and later in this video I will show you how to have your file extensions types show. So we'll go ahead and press enter. Since I have the save highlighted in blue, I can always press enter if I have any box that has highlights. So I'll go ahead and press enter. And now you can see up here, I have my monthly sales, and I can see the extension type. So the first thing that I need to do is to change the sheet name. And also for the sheets, you need to make sure that you're reflecting the correct information that is in that sheet as you name your work. So for this one, I will name August sales and enter. And I'll make some changes here and enter. So now I can use my keyboard shortcut to save the changes, and since I've already saved my file, I will just need to save the changes. And the keyboard shortcut for doing that is Ctrl S. So I'll go ahead and hold down Control and press letter S, and I have that saved. I will close this file because I would like to show you where I have saved it in our folder. Alt F4 to close the file. I have my folder minimized here, so I'll go ahead and left click to open it, and you can see we have our file there. So I will open this and we will save it as a new file with changes but with the same extension. Double click to open this file. I have this open and I would like to make changes to this file and save with a different name. I will bring my mouse up there, and once I see the cross, I will left click, double click that, and now I have adjusted my column and you can see my item listed there. So now I will save this file with a new name, and to do that, since I want to save this as a new file, I will use my keyboard shortcut F12. And you can see we have our file name here, and the ones that you are making changes to, we will give it a different name, making sure I'm in the correct location. I have my USB drive, class video notes, an Excel folder. Go ahead and rename that annual sales. I'm not changing the extension, so I will go ahead and click save. And now you can see the name changed here. I will close this file so we can see our both files in our folder. Alt F4 to close that. And now we can see we have two folders here. So now I would like to show you how to change the extension type or to save us with a different extension. I will double click my monthly sales to open that. And once I have that open, I can make some changes here too. Once again, since I want to see the entire column here and the item included, I'll bring my mouse up there and double click once I see the cross. And now I can see I have adjusted my column for me to be able to see the entire item. And now since I'm saving as a new file, I will need to use the keyboard shortcut F12. And note we still have our two files here. This type, our location is still staying the same. The name is staying the same, but we are changing the file extension. And before I change that, you will notice that once I do that, the two files that you can see there, you will not see them. The files will still be in the folder, but because I'm saving with a different extension type, it's filtering and you're only seeing the macro enabled workbook. And because there's no other file in this folder with the same extension, you will only see the file that we are saving right now. So watch this as I click .xlsm. And you see it has filtered that, and we can see we have a different extension type here. I will go ahead and press enter to save that. We can see the extension type here. Now let's go ahead and close this so we can see our changes on the folder. Alt F4. And we see now we have the three files. They are in our folder, Excel folder, and they're in our USB. So we have saved correctly and we have the names here. Now I want to show you how to show your extension types. I'm in the Windows Explorer window. So I'll go ahead up here and click on the View tab. And once in the View tab, I'll go to the Show Hide group, and you will see a box that is already checked that shows file name extensions. If I uncheck that, you will notice the file extension types will not show. So I'm unchecking that, and you see now the extension types are not showing. And if I check the box, I have my extension types showing. As we have seen how to save as, and change the file extensions type in Excel, I will now show you how to save as, and change the file extension types too in a Word document. Down here on my taskbar, I will left click to open my Word program from the icon that I have pinned here. And just like in Excel, I have that highlighted, so I can go ahead and press escape on my keyboard, and I have that, and you can see that is document 1 here. Now I remember earlier in this video I showed you how to restore down and maximize your window, and I will show you the keyboard shortcut of how to do that too. And the keyboard shortcut to restore down is your Windows key and the down arrow. So I'm holding down the Windows key and press the down arrow, and I have that restored down. And to maximize that, I will use the same Windows key, hold down Windows key and up arrow, and that gets your window maximized. And this works too in the Microsoft programs and any other window that you might have open, like the web browsers. You can use the keyboard shortcut Windows down arrow to restore down and Windows up arrow to maximize your window. Just like in Excel, we have the ribbon here, and we have the 3 components, which are the tabs up here. We have the groups here. These are the groups. These are the groups. And we have the buttons. So this is a button, that's a button, that's a button. For example, the button here, you can use that to bold your work. The button here, you can use that to underline your work. And you can use these buttons here to change your font. Over here, you can use that to change the font size. Now, since this is a new file, I will use the keyboard shortcut to save this, F12. Make sure I have the correct location. My USB is right there, and expand that to go to my Word folder. Left click to open that. The next thing that I need to make sure I have it correct is the file name. I will name this Travel Update, and enter or left click here to save. With that saved, we can see the name showing up here, and the extension type is also showing here. I will now type some text here, and then we can save our file with the updated information. And to do that, I will use a trick to type some random text, and watch this once I type. So now watch this once I enter. Boom! We have some text appearing here. Now we can use our keyboard shortcut Ctrl S to save this. And we have saved that. I will go back to our folder so we can see that. So I will close that, Alt F4, and our folder is Word. And we can see we have that document here, and we can also see the extension showing there. So I'll go ahead and double click to open this again. What I would like to do now is to add some more information here, and then save with a different name. So enter, use my trick to type some random text. And now I have my random text there, and I want to save this as a new file, so I will use the keyboard shortcut F12. I see I have the correct location. I see the file that I saved earlier, but now this one I would like to change the name but not the extension. So I will just update the name, and I will change this name to Travel New Updates, and enter to save that. Now that I have that saved, I will close that to go to my Windows Explorer so we can see that we have both files there. So now I would like to show you how to change the file extension type, and I will open Travel Updates, double click to open that, and now you save this as a new file but with a different extension type. So our keyboard shortcut to save as a new file, F12, and you can see just making sure I have the correct location. I'm not changing the name, I'm just changing the extension type. And we'll go ahead and open the extension types here, And you can see, just like in Excel, we have different extension types here. And as I told you earlier, we can save our file as a PDF by changing the file extension type. So on this one, I would like to save our Word document as a PDF. So I will go ahead and click on the PDF to select the PDF extension. And you can see, just like in Excel, it's filtering. We still have our files in the Word folder, but because we don't have another file with the PDF extension, so it is filtering and you can only see this file there. So we have the correct name, correct location, and the extension is there. Now go ahead and left click to save. And now we can see we have opened our PDF file. So every time you save your work as a PDF, it will open for you the PDF file that you have saved. So I'll go ahead and close that. Alt F4 to close that. And I have my Word document here that I changed the extension type. So I'll go ahead now and close that too. Alt F4. Now we can see all our files here, and we can see they are in the correct folder, the Word folder. We have the travel update file, travel new update file, and the travel updates, which is a PDF file. In this video, we learned about the operating system, desktop, Windows Explorer, the Backstage View, the ribbon, and some keyboard shortcuts. We learned how to create folders, how to create the files, the different file extension types, how to change the extension types, and how to show that. In our second video, we will learn more of Windows Explorer and file management. And our third video for Windows Explorer, we will create a system of folders. See you in the next video.